Hello, it's the third week of January, and this week's articles are: Ukraine hit by massive cyber attack on government websites. NCSC joins US partners to promote understanding and mitigation of Russian state-sponsored cyber threats. Microsoft January patch Tuesday addresses 96 vulnerabilities. SysJoker backdoor arrives as potent multi-platform espionage threat. New phishing campaign exploits Google Docs comment. Ukraine has been hit by a massive cyber attack, with the websites of several government departments, including the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Education Ministry, knocked out. Officials said it was too early to draw any conclusions, but they pointed to a long record of Russian cyber assaults against Ukraine, with the attack coming after security talks between Moscow and the US and its allies this week ended in stalemate. Suspected Russian hackers left a message on the Foreign Ministry's website. According to reports, it said, "Ukrainians, all information about you has become public. Be afraid and expect worse. It's your past, present, and future." The message reproduced the Ukrainian flag and map crossed out. It mentioned the Ukrainian Insurgent Army, or UPA, which fought against the Soviet Union during the Second World War. There was also a reference to historical land. In a message to The Guardian, the Foreign Ministry spokesperson Oleg Nikolenko said, "As a result of a massive cyber attack, the website of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other government agencies are temporarily down. Our specialists have already started restoring the work of IT systems, and the cyber police have opened an investigation." NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg and Josep Borrell, the EU's top diplomat, condemned the attacks. Borrell said the EU's Political and Security Committee and cyber units would meet to discuss how to respond and to support Kiev. "We are going to mobilize our resources to help Ukraine to tackle this. Sadly, we knew it could happen." He added, "It's difficult to say who is behind it. I can't blame anybody as I have no proof, but we can imagine." Stoltenberg said NATO and Ukraine would in the coming days sign an agreement on enhanced cyber cooperation. Kiev would get access to NATO's malware information sharing platform, he said. Sweden's Foreign Minister Ann Linde said the West must stand up to any Russian aggression. "We have to be very firm in our message to Russia that if there are attacks against Ukraine, we will be very harsh and very strong and robust in our response." Sweden stood in solidarity with Kiev, she added. On Thursday, Russian envoys sounded a bleak note after discussions this week with the OSCE in Vienna, as well as NATO and the US. Sergei Rybkov, who led Russia's delegation, said talks had hit a dead end. The Kremlin has demanded an assurance Ukraine and Georgia will never join NATO. It wants NATO to remove troops and equipment from its member states in Eastern Europe and to return deployment to 1997 levels before NATO expanded. On Friday, Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said Moscow would not wait indefinitely for a response. "We have run out of patience," he said at a news conference. "The West has been driven by hubris and has exacerbated tensions in violations of its obligations and common sense. Russia has mobilized 100,000 troops on the border with Ukraine and sent in military hardware. Its defense ministry announced that further equipment would be relocated from the east of the country as part of what is said to be an exercise. Meanwhile, Moscow has said it had carried out a special operation against the ransomware group REvil, following a request from the US. The FSB spy agency, which Vladimir Putin used to run, said it had detained and charged the group's members. The US Embassy in Moscow had no immediate comment, but the move appears to be part of a carrot and stick operation following the latest cyber attack on Ukraine, designed to wrong-foot the Americans. Thus far, the Kremlin has made little effort to curb hacks on Western targets by Russian-based cyber criminals. Ukraine has been repeatedly targeted since 2014, when Moscow annexed Crimea and kick-started a war in the eastern Donbas region. About 288,000 cyber attacks took place in the first 10 months of 2021, according to the official figures, with 397,000 in 2020. The attacks have also been directed at critical infrastructure. In winter 2015, suspected Russian hackers took out parts of the country's power grid, which led to almost 250,000 Ukrainians losing power and heat. A repeat attack happened in 2016. In 2017, suspected Russian hackers unleashed the NotPetya virus, causing mayhem. Banks, newspapers, and leading companies were targeted. That article is from The Guardian. And then, just to add some context of what's being said from the National Cybersecurity Centre, this is taken from their website. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, CISA, Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI, and National Security Agency, NSA, have published a joint advisory encouraging network defenders of critical infrastructure to remain vigilant against Russian-backed hacking groups. The advisory provides an overview of Russian state-sponsored cyber operations, including commonly observed tactics, techniques, and procedures, detection actions, incident response guidance, and mitigations. Critical infrastructure organizations are advised to take immediate actions to strengthen their cybersecurity posture, patch all systems and prioritize patching known exploited vulnerabilities, implement multi-factor authentication, use antivirus software. The NCSC recommends that organizations follow the advice set out within the advisory, which also lists 13 vulnerabilities known to have been exploited by Russian-backed actors in order to gain access to networks, and warns that actors have also used spear phishing and brute force techniques successfully. Microsoft January Patch Tuesday update bundle has arrived with significant security fixes. Specifically, it includes a whopping 96 different bug fixes that address some 0 days. Moreover, it also includes some third-party patches for other known bugs. And a little overview of the patches are as followed. The most notable fixes included in the January Patch Tuesday bundle addresses 4 different 0-day vulnerabilities in Microsoft products. These include a certificate spoofing bug, a DOS affecting the event tracing discretionary access control list, an RCE flaw in the Windows Security Center API, and a privilege escalation bug in the user profile service. While Microsoft has rated all 4 as important severity bugs, they became publicly known before the tech giant could fix them. Hence, the update addressing these bugs demand attention from the users to prevent potential exploitation. Although Microsoft has confirmed to have detected no exploitation of any of them yet. In addition, the other noteworthy fixes address 8 critical severity vulnerabilities that fortunately remained undisclosed and unexploited until the updates. These include 6 remote code execution flaws affecting the DirectX graphics kernel, HEVC video extensions, HTTP protocol stack, Microsoft Office, and Exchange Server. The HTTP protocol stack vulnerability was the most severe as it achieved a CVSS score of 9.8. Microsoft has called it a wormable bug that an unauthenticated adversary can exploit by sending maliciously crafted packets to the target server via the vulnerable protocol. Consequently, the tech giant urges users to update immediately. The other 2 critical vulnerabilities include privilege escalation bugs affecting the Active Directory domain services and virtual machine IDE drive. Besides these significant vulnerabilities, the remaining 84 bugs updated this month have achieved important severity ratings. These bugs affect numerous Windows components, hence demanding immediate attention. So put simply, update your systems as soon as possible. Since the update bundle is already out, all users should ensure installing them at the earliest to stay secure. Windows 10 users who haven't received the updates yet should manually check by following the path All Settings, Update and Security, Windows Update. And that source is latesthacking.news.com. SysJoker backdoor malware targets multiple platforms. According to a recent post from Interza, the SysJoker backdoor malware has been running active campaigns in the wild since last year. The researchers first detected it in December 2021 when it attacked the Linux-based server of a known educational institute. However, analysing the malware revealed that it can also target other major platforms like Windows and Mac OS, as Windows PE and Mac O versions respectively. Briefly, the malware authors have developed this C++ based malware with precise tailoring to target different systems. SysJoker typically reaches a device posing as a fake Intel driver updates for Windows or system updates for Linux and Mac OS. Once downloaded, the malware then plants backdoors in the target device with considerable ability to run remote commands. Also, an advisory can upload or download files via those backdoors. The researchers believe that this explicit control makes it a potent espionage tool, though the hackers may also use it for malware attacks. For now, the researchers haven't observed the second attack stage. During our analysis, we haven't witnessed a second stage or command sent from the attacker. This suggests that the attack is specific, which usually fits for an advanced actor. Besides the attackers, behind this malware changed the CNC server 3 times during the researchers' analysis. During our analysis, the C2 changed 3 times, indicating the attacker is active and monitoring for infected machines. Moreover, the researchers also noticed the malware aiming at specific targets, which further hints at espionage intentions. Presently, SysJoker has managed to remain under the radar, as evident from its low to none detection rate on VirusTotal. Nonetheless, Interza recommends admins run memory scanners on machines if they suspect the SysJoker attack. Also, admins should vigilantly monitor their systems for vulnerable or unpatched software requiring immediate attention. And the source is the latest hacking news. New phishing campaign exploits Google Docs comment feature. Researchers have identified a new phishing attack where the hackers exploit the Google Docs comment feature to send phishing emails. This strategy proves even more evasive as it hides the attacker's identity. According to a post from the cybersecurity firm Avanan, a new phishing attack is active in the wild, spreading malicious links. What's different in this attack is exploiting the Google Docs comment feature to disseminate the links anonymously. Specifically, the comment feature in Google Docs allows a particular option to send emails to a respective user. It requires adding an @ before the user's name while adding the comment in the Docs file. Then Google sends an email to the user that arrives right in the recipient's inbox. This email includes the whole comment, which comes from Google's address. Hence, the user would open the email with trust as it arrives from Google. That is what the hackers exploit. They insert malicious phishing links into the Google Docs comment section. Then adding the @ with the target recipient's name makes Google send an email to the user with a malicious link. This increases the success probability for this attack, as the recipients would likely open the email that arrives with Google's address. The trust factor attached to Google's name, another thing increasing this phishing attack success rate, is the stealth sender's identity. The emails arrive in this way merely include the sender's display name without an email address. Therefore, when such an email arrives in the mailbox, no spam filter would likely block it, nor would the user ever be able to recognize and block the sender's email address, as it would never appear. Describing such a scenario, the researchers stated, a hacker can create a free Gmail account such as bad.actor@gmail.com. They then create a Google Doc, insert a comment and send it to their intended target. For this example, let's say the intended target has a work address of vic.tim@company.com. The end user will have no idea whether the comment came from bad.actor@gmail.com or bad.actor@company.com. It will just say bad actor mentioned you in a comment in the following document. If bad actor is a colleague, it will appear trusted. Besides, this phishing attack is easy to execute as it does not require the victim to open the document. Instead, the malicious comment will sufficiently appear in the email to trigger the attack. Moreover, it requires sending no attachment from the hackers. Beware of Google Apps phishing emails. According to the researchers, the phishing attack in question also exploits other Google Suite apps, like Google Slides. The attack strategy remains the same, hence conferring similar damages. Presently, the researchers have found this email targeting Microsoft Outlook users, whereas the hackers have created roughly 100 Gmail accounts for this campaign. Avanan has informed Google of this phishing attack. They also urge users to stay vigilant and employ email security best practices. And the source for that again is latest hacking news.